It's another episode of Storytime with Norman. This time I want to share a story, real life story, from my time at Tosco Corporation, which has two messages inside it. So let me tell you what's going on here. So Tosco was an oil refining company, and one of the areas of risk was our ability to source services, especially to a lesser extent materials used in our refining operation in Northern California. We would spend a lot of money on both, but especially services, things like repairs and maintenance on our facilities. We did these things called massive refinery turnarounds, where almost the whole refinery would close down while regular routine repairs and servicing were performed on some of the units. And this could cost us millions of dollars per day. And the contracts that we engaged in were obviously multi-million-dollar contracts. The quality of the work performed would have a direct impact on our ability to continue to refine crude oil into refined products like gasoline and diesel and jet fuel on a reliable basis in the right quantities. So I took one of my new auditors who had been a senior manager with Ernst & Young, a very highly qualified lady, and asked her to do an audit of procurement and told her of some of the background here. Asked her to go and talk to the customers as well as the actual people in charge of procurement. After about a week, I sat down with her, went over to her cube, and asked her how she was doing. And she said, "Oh, Norman, there you are. Good. I was hoping to see you because I'm just about finished the audit. And I'm starting to write the audit report, and I'm curious as to what you would like me to do next." So this was significantly less time than I had allocated for the audit. And I pointed that out, and I said, "How did you get this done so quickly?" He said, "Oh, Norman, I'm just good. I am very, very good. I'm very fast. I'm very efficient. That's why you hired me. Right?" And of course, there's really not very much of an answer to that, other than to ask her to review some of the work that she had done and what she had found. And she had found that everything was absolutely fine. They were complying with all the appropriate policies. Everything was being done on time. She found no exceptions at all and was going to be writing a very clean audit report. I said, "Okay, let me talk to Roger, who was the director for that part of the world, reporting to me. And I'll talk to Roger and we'll see what comes next." A little later that afternoon, I went out for a little walk. We, at that time, were using a trailer in the grounds of the refinery as our office. I actually had multiple offices because I had operations in different parts of the United States to manage. But Roger was the director, and he and his people lived in this trailer. And I went out for a little walk around, get a little bit of, I won't call it fresh air, but at least it was fresher than in the trailer. And who did I see but Mike? Mike, the manager of procurement. Because the procurement office was also in a trailer and just, 30, 40, 50 yards away from where we were. And he was standing outside on the porch to the trailer having a cigarette. Well, okay. You would think that would be in violation of safety standards. Oil and fire don't really mix very well. But actually, it was okay. We were both far enough away that that wasn't going to be a risk to my safety. It might be a risk to Mike's health, but it wasn't a risk to my safety or the operation of the refinery. And I went up to him and I said, "How you doing, Mike?" And he sort of grumbled a little bit under his, not under his breath. I could certainly hear what he was saying. I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "Oh, just stuff." I said, "Well, at least you're going to get a good audit report, because the auditor was just telling me that she's just about finished the audit and she found that everything is in good shape. And she's going to be writing a pretty positive audit report." He grumbled again. And I said, "What's the matter, Mike?" And he said, "She came into my office just a day or two ago and sat down and just asked me questions that she had written down on her pad of paper. And I answered them. And she wrote down the answers very diligently, and she asked follow-up questions. Seemed to be all fairly thorough about what she had on her paper. Then she thanked me and left. She thanked me and left. And she didn't give me an opportunity to tell her about all the problems I'm having. The fact that I need to get the cooperation of the maintenance vice president and the engineering vice president in selecting better quality suppliers and vendors for our maintenance activities, for selecting vendors who are going to rent us at a better price some of the massive equipment that we need to support those refinery maintenance operations. But she never gave me a chance to talk about it. She never gave me a chance to express to her how I did not feel that we were necessarily getting the right quality, the right price for the services that we needed to have acquired and used for the proper maintenance and operation of the refinery. So she may well say, and I hope she does, that my team are doing a good job. But that doesn't mean that the operation as a whole is procuring in an optimal fashion. She never gave me a chance to tell her this. So now I've got a problem and she hasn't helped me with my problem. So you can understand why I'm disappointed, Norbert. I'm disappointed in internal audit, and I was disappointed as well. I was disappointed in this manager. And I went back and I talked to her and asked her, did you go through your list of questions and then ask the one at the end, which is, what are you worried about? What concerns do you have? What improvements would you like to see in the operation, not just in your area, but from what you can see around the refinery, around your organization? What do I need to know? How can I help you? Auditors can't have this, what Clarissa Lucas, my friend, talks about in her book, Beyond Agile Auditing, as a checklist mentality. We can't do that. We've got to be using our innate intelligence and curiosity and imagination and business savvy to give everybody an opportunity to tell us what they're worried about, why perhaps we should be worried about this, and how we can help them with their problems. So that's the first message, is that she didn't ask that other question. She just followed a checklist. Maybe this is, I presume, because of her background in public accounting. That's all she had done before joining my team. Senior manager, maybe. Very intelligent lady, definitely. But she didn't ask those additional questions. She just said, I'm worried about these things and I'm going to ask about these things. And she never sought to find out what management was concerned about and maybe she should be worried about that too. Whether that be culture of the organization, whether that be the ability to take the right risk, whether it be safety issues that he as a procurement manager could see. And in this case, maybe it's other things that were worrying him and stopping him from being as effective as he wanted to be. The second message is she wasn't listening. You've got to listen not only with these two ears, but with these eyes as well. Listen with your eyes. If 80% of communication is non-verbal, how do we hear non-verbal language? With our eyes and with our head, thinking about what this behavior in this individual was telling me or should be telling me. And she should have noticed that Mike was uncomfortable. She should have noticed that Mike was itching to tell her about his problems. But she wasn't listening. She wasn't listening. She was talking too much. Like I tell all my people, don't ever go to talk to somebody, go to listen. If you're talking more than 40% of the time, you're talking too much. And she was talking far too much. She was not listening. She was not open to listening. She was not open to hearing different ideas and different things that she was there to understand. And we need to be that. We need to be more open. We need to be listening with our ears and our eyes to everything that the person is trying to tell us or communicate to us. Even only being able to sense that they're uncomfortable, and we need to follow up to find out why they are uncomfortable. So this is one of my favorite stories, and there are many more coming. So please subscribe to the video channel. Thank you.